Be as hot as you can be. Go work out, drop calories. Space Brisbane is a mystery for you and me. If you're Aryan, it's okay. You might get to sleep with Jay. Don't forget to have the birth control pill in you. And when you think you can't go wrong, you piss him off. And then he kicks you out the door with your clothes off. So go and call a taxi, but don't say that you're sorry, 'cause Jay won't call your ass. Just get the fuck out of his home. Your best bet's to leave him alone. Super Jayain has a very, very short fuse. But if your tits are of ample size, then maybe he will let it slide. Make his dreams come true. So just spread your legs. Semen is going in you. Dun 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 dun.
These songs are getting more and more R18, man. they're getting worse and worse in terms of adult content. So if there's any young viewers out there, I'm so sorry, but that was a great song.
I'm so sorry for offending anybody. I'm not sorry. Fuck off.
Fuck that shit. But you're making me sound more and more like a monster. But that's okay. Whatever. I don't care.
That's what we do here on Talk Dragon Ball. That's right, folks. Talk Dragon Ball is back. Strike be gone. I didn't want to do a Talk Dragon Ball until I got that stupid fake copyright strike taken off Funimation. Some intern in there fucked up and took.
And I'd just like to say live on air, thank you to Dino Rhymestyle for helping out with that.
Yes,
Appreciate
thank you to Dino Rhymestyle for helping out with that. He put me in contact with Funimation. He contacted Funimation. It's gone. Toasty is back, and we are now back to normal again. All is right in the world.
Yes, so parody has been restored to the YouTube land.
Yes, and we're talking, well, it's Talk Dragon Ball. I'm Big D Geekdom, whatever the fuck, and this is Super Jayain. Please go subscribe to Jay's channel. He recently hit 1,000 subscribers,
and I am extremely happy with that. I knew it would happen eventually, but yeah, I'm stoked to be at 1,000, and let's get to 2,000. Let's fucking do it.
I'm very stoked for today's topic because we're going to get everybody involved in this one. All of you watching this video, I want you to really comment on this one because I know a lot of you guys are very creative. I'm very, very happy with my subscriber base. I really, really am because there's a lot of dumbasses on YouTube, as most of you know, and I don't consider any of you dumb. Seriously, and I'm not just saying that to kiss ass. I'm being for real. We're talking about... Here's the game we're going to play, all right? And I want you guys, leave your comments after you watch our video or during. If Toei came to you and told you to write Resurrection F, how would you write the movie? What would you do differently in Resurrection F than what happened in Resurrection F? So that's what me and Jay are doing. We're going to kind of rewrite the film. Now, a couple things I want to say real quick. There's a few, rules to the game here, all right? Rule number 1, there is no Dragon Ball Super. You are writing Resurrection F as if there is no Dragon Ball Super. All you have is Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, the manga, everything from 2013. You have Jocko, you have Battle of Gods, but there is no Dragon Ball Super, right? That's rule number 1. Rule number 2, the only thing that you have to go by is that Frieza is going to be resurrected, and you have to come up with a storyline, and you have to come up with a movie. I don't want you guys to write, like, super long essays. If you want to, you can. I'm not going to stop you from it, but I just kind of want some bullet points about what you would do differently if you got to write Resurrection F. Jay, what are some of the things that you would do differently, keeping in mind that as of this point when we're doing this game, there is no Super, there is no continuation. As far as we know, this could be the last Dragon Ball Z movie ever. That's the game.
All right. Well, for starters, I would start the movie exactly how it started. That was a fantastic start to the movie. Everyone laughed. The way they brought Frieza back was fine, in my opinion. The really where things would change for me would be when Frieza just disappears for 4 months. You have to show Frieza training. You have to show some of Frieza's high-ranking officers training. I would have more than just 2 high-ranking officers in Frieza's army. The 2 that were there really only was said to be on the level of around Dodoria and Zarbon. We don't know if that was rank or power. I personally believe it was rank, but they could have gone and trained with Frieza for a few months or done something to train. And when the fight actually happens, you have a major ranking officer in Frieza's army for each of the main characters in Dragon Ball Z. So Piccolo has to fight a ranking officer that is said to have this level of power. Piccolo might say, wow, his power is comparable to Cell, comparable to Cell. You could have a villain for each character to fight. Gohan could have a ranking officer in Frieza's army that's as strong as Mystic Gohan or Ultimate Gohan to appease all the Gohan fans out there. Goten and Trunks would have to fight one of Frieza's ranking officers that they need to do fusion to beat. Like, you could have all these, which I know it would make a lot of sense because you have all these epically strong characters coming out of nowhere, but people would love it. They would eat it up. Someone for Krillin to fight, someone for Tien to fight. Rather than having 1,000 soldiers, even though that scene was epic, having someone for each of the main cast to fight, and someone weaker for Master Roshi and I'll say Yamcha to fight.
Why not?
Yeah, that 1,000 soldier fight scene was executed very well. Have 18 there as well. Have Goten and Trunks.
Okay, bro, have
there.
17 there. I'm gonna talk about mine in a minute, but
everyone. Yeah, but that scene was good. But that's the parts I would have improved there. The fight scene with Goku and Frieza was pretty damn good. I really can't fault that a whole lot. I was a little bit disappointed that Frieza had stamina issues just like he did on Namek, because Frieza was dominating Goku. I don't think anyone can argue that. The Golden Frieza was stronger than Goku until his stamina issues kicked in. Goku pretty much got up and said, I'm having trouble with this guy. But they found his weakness. From that point on, when they found his weakness, you kind of knew Frieza was going to lose. It was just, you just knew it was going to happen. I probably wouldn't have made it that way. I probably would have gone along the lines of having Frieza to the point where Goku cannot win. He absolutely cannot beat Frieza. Then you actually have a sense of, dread about the situation. Goku needs Vegeta to help in, or jump in and help, or Goku gets beaten and then it's up to Vegeta to win. Something along those lines.
Yeah.
And then if Frieza blows up the Earth, that's fine, but don't reveal at the start of the movie that Whis has the ability to reverse time by 3 minutes, up to 3 minutes, because that killed that scene completely, in my opinion. Not for everyone, but for the people who are avid cinema watchers and are kind of clued up, they're going to go, oh, well, the Earth just got blown up, but Whis can reverse time by 3 minutes. When Vegeta was killed, when that planet was basically exploded, if you didn't know Whis had the ability to reverse time by 3 minutes, that would have been a major scene in that movie. Everyone would have freaked out and gone, what the hell, So those are just some of the small things I would have changed about the movie. What about yourself?
Well, we're gonna go back and forth on this. The first thing I would do is, okay, the idea of Frieza coming back is great. Now I'm gonna give you guys. I was gonna do a whole video on this, but I'd rather do it with you, Jay. I want to talk about kind of my ideas when I saw that first trailer, or actually like the third trailer, the one that actually showed Golden Frieza. Or even the poster. So I think the movie should have started with the Galactic Patrol in space, somewhere deep in space, fighting Frieza's army. And the narrator tells us that for the past 30 years, ever since Frieza's been, defeated or whatever, the army has had to rely on, Sorbet, and he's not the same kind of leader, and they've been losing, and the Galactic Patrol has finally got one up on him. Kind of like the beginning of Star Wars, how the rebels got the plans. Well, in here, Frieza's army is dwindling. They're still in deep space. They haven't all been killed, but now they're losing to the Space Patrol, to the Galactic Patrol or whatever. And we see everybody from the Jocko comic. Sorbet says, we're in trouble. What do? Let's find Lord Frieza. Chala, head chala. We have our little intro, or whatever. And then the movie starts, right? And I think that the thing that this movie lacked, Resurrection F, is that I think the movie should have been about Frieza. And it really wasn't about Frieza. I think that this should have been Frieza's quest. I think the entire point of this movie should have been the quest of Frieza getting revenge. Not just getting revenge from, for Goku and trying. No, he actually sits there with Sorbet and Tagoma or whomever you want to come up with. Maybe some old Ginyu Force members that nobody knew about that failed previously and just got stronger. Whatever. And his thing is, I want to get revenge on Son Goku and on Trunks. Of course, he doesn't know Trunks' name, but that's neither here nor there. And then I would do I would do some kind of quest where Frieza unlocks some kind of power, because the 4-month thing is kind of bullshit. A lot of people hate that, and it might be different in Resurrection F, but I would do something where like Sorbet tells him something like, "Oh, your father once told me about this like ancient like thing, right?" And Frieza's like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Yeah, if you find this object, do some real fucking like follow me here, guys. Do like a badass like quest for Act 1 where Frieza has to find this object that's going to give him an incredible amount of strength." So he goes and he goes on this adventure by himself to find this, object of strength. Meanwhile, Goku and Vegeta are already training with Whis. That's fine. Let them do their thing. And then Frieza gets the strength. Or the one thing I felt the film was lacking, and Jay, you and I talked about this with BLACKENFIST off air, is the Frieza training montage. I think if they would have done the Frieza training montage with Maximum the Hormones F, Frieza,
Yeah.
and you show him, you started off by being kind of funny, like he's punching, like a punching bag, and he's like getting like weak, and then Sorbet has to give him like water, like in that fan art, and then it gets progressively, he starts getting more and more strong. Like you start seeing him like, like actually getting stronger, destroying planets and shit, and then the end, and while all this is going on, you're hearing the Maximum the Hormone song, the 3-minute version, or maybe even the 1-minute version.
I don't know about him getting weak to the point where he can't punch a punching bag down, but because
no, but I mean,
was,
like, no,
yeah, something like that, something like that.
Yeah, where he's lazy, he doesn't want to work out,
Yeah, he was born with an incredible amount of power to begin with, so he is still strong. But yeah, that would absolutely, they have to have a training montage in there, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't mean like he can't do it. I mean like he doesn't want to do it because he's lazy and he's, he's one of those spoiled rich kids. And then he's training his ass off, and you could do the whole Rocky thing where he's even running up a set of stairs, just real funny stuff. And then you end it with him like this was totally like BLACKENFIST's idea here, so shout out to BLACKENFIST. You end it with him bench pressing a planet. He bench presses the planet and he looks at the camera and goes, "I'm ready." That would have been fucking awesome, bro. And then you cut to something else, and later on he comes in. Yeah. I would have had the last fight. It would have been just the same except for that extra scene. I would have had the last fight. I would have had Goku. I would have had Frieza go to Earth and really, really fuck shit up, all right? First of all, Tarble is on Earth. He finds Tarble first and kills him. He kills Tarble. Tarble's dead. Nobody knows what's going on except Tarble, and he's dead. Then he goes and he finds Trunks, who at this point should be a little bit older. He recognizes Trunks. And by the way, this movie does not take place 8 months after Battle of Gods. My version's about a year after, maybe 2 years, maybe 3 years. Trunks is already looking like a teenager. He sees Trunks. He thinks it's future Trunks. Kid Trunks, or whatever you want to call present Trunks, he's all confused. Like, I've heard about you, but I don't know who you are. And Frieza's like, "You know who the fuck I am." And he's like, "No, I don't know who you are." And Frieza's like, "No, you killed me." And Trunks is like, "I don't know what you're talking about." And then Frieza just fucking blows him away. Or Frieza does something better. He's like, "I'm going to do something worse. I'm going to torture you." So rather than him killing Trunks, he just kidnaps him. And this is all building to the big climax. So they fuse to make Gotenks, adult Gotenks. Frieza knocks him out of fusion in one shot. Because remember, he's fucking enhanced now. He's fucking a badass now. Completely knocks him out of fusion. Takes fucking, knocks out Goten. Thinks that he's dead. Takes fucking Trunks, with him back to the ship or whatever. Then, like you said, the big fight at the end. Except that this time it's different. Because this time, what I would have done, Jay, and I don't know if you'll agree with me on this one, is I would have had Piccolo recruit everybody that we've ever seen in Dragon Ball fight. I would have had 17. I would have had Boo. I would have had Gidan from Dragon Ball. I would have had Yam. I would have had Tao. I would have had even the people who used to be villains. I would have had Piccolo go around recruiting them saying, "We need you to fight because Frieza is bringing 10,000 people to Earth." Not 1,000, 10,000. The final battle would have been even bigger because it would have had every character from Dragon Ball, including Fat Boo using his fucking candy move, including fucking Gotenks. Well, Trunks would have been kidnapped, so Goten would have probably been in there, but Trunks would have been kidnapped at the time, so he wouldn't be in it. But 18 would be in there. Fucking who else am I missing, bro? King Chappa?
King Chopper, yeah. I mean, you could have Pilaf and the gang there in their mech suits trying to do stuff with their mech suits.
Dude, and it's this giant battle between Frieza's soldiers and everybody we've seen in Dragon Ball, and there's this epic fucking music, right? All this shit's going down, right? And then Frieza, another ship appears, and Frieza's like, I've got a plan B. And out comes another 10,000 soldiers. So it's like, fuck, okay. And this is gonna be a badass movie, bro, if it was real. They show up, they start whooping the Z Fighter's ass or whatever. Even the Dragon Ball characters are all in danger. Even Mr. Satan is like, oh, what do I do? And here's the thing, you could take the weaker characters like Mr. Satan and have them like rescue civilians and shit. Always do something, you know what I mean? Like do something with the smaller characters. And then the Galactic Patrol shows up with Jocko. It would be just like that scene in Lord of the Rings, Return of the King, when they have like Rohan show up in the big battle and then they start fighting. Then it's this gigantic fucking battle royale with the entire Galactic Patrol. Fucking, you could even throw in the Namekians. You could even have the Galactic Patrol say, okay, we went to go recruit some people. You literally have the biggest battle royale in the history of Dragon Ball. Can you imagine, bro? You make it a 2-hour movie for real. Can you imagine how that would have looked?
Yeah, I mean, I'd personally make something like that a 2.5, 3-hour movie, but because I know people would sit there and watch it, so that's a great idea, absolutely.
And then the big finale, of course, would have been probably on another planet. Frieza fights Beerus and beats him because now Frieza's got this new power. He beats Beerus. Goku has a hand at Frieza. Frieza beats Goku. And then they do what we thought they were going to do, where they have this whole thing with Goku. Goku gets beaten. Vegeta's watching. And then Vegeta is like, basically the idea is that Frieza beats Goku, and he's about to kill him, and then Vegeta jumps in, and then Frieza's like, I don't think you want a piece of me. And then Vegeta could be like, well, I don't want you. And then he could say that line where he's like, I don't want you to kill him because I need him to kind of get better. And then Frieza could be like, they could do this whole thing where Vegeta challenges him to a fight. The same thing they did in the movie where he's like, I would never forgive somebody, blah, 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 right? So Vegeta and Frieza start to fight, and it's this big epic battle. We're talking about like it's so epic that like planets are getting destroyed, like some real epic shit. Remember, Beerus and Goku have lost. So there's this big fucking epic battle, and then during the battle, Frieza wins. Frieza defeats Vegeta, and then Frieza's so cocky, he's like, I'm gonna show you my handiwork, and then he brings out like the dead body of Tarbell. And then he brings out the fucking, the mangled up, I guess, tortured version of Trunks. And he shoots him right in the chest. Doesn't kill him, but we're supposed to think that he killed him. Trunks does not die, but we think he dies. They're going to give him a senzu at the end of the movie. And then Frieza's like, I killed your father, I killed your brother, I killed your son, and I even killed you. And that's enough to get Vegeta so pissed that he unlocks SS God SS and just pulverizes Frieza in the big climax of the fucking movie. And at the end of the movie, he kills him. None of this fucking reverse time bullshit. At the end of the movie, he kills him by grabbing him by the throat, and he says, I'm glad you came back to life so that I could kill you. And then fucking rips his head off, and everybody in the audience applauds. Literally rips his head off, like fucking decapitates him, pops it off. Everybody in the audience applauds. People are throwing babies up in the air, and then that's it, bro. That's your movie. That's what I would do.
That's a very, very long movie, but yeah, it would be an epic journey for sure, without a doubt.
Can you imagine that fucking movie, bro?
That's crazy. I would mark out. I'd be going crazy, but I was happy with Vegeta getting Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan. I just wish they didn't do the whole time reversal thing, and I wish that they did give the kill to Vegeta, but I'm okay with them giving it to Goku. I understand why they gave it to Goku, but if I'm making my version of the movie, yeah, fuck, you better believe that Vegeta gets to kill Frieza. Absolutely.
So what other things would you change about the film? It doesn't have to be anything major, but it could be something major. Like, would you have Beerus fight? Because I think a lot of people were let down by the fact that Beerus didn't even fight. Now, my whole thing is, just real quick, people were probably wondering, well, what about Whis? If Frieza beats Beerus, where's Whis going to be? My idea is that Sorbet fucking takes Whis' staff when he's not looking, when he's eating sushi, and then blasts Whis and contains him somehow. Like, he uses his own staff against him, like Little Mermaid, and contains him in this, like, wave. So Whis is like in jail and can't do shit. But we all know in the audience that if Whis was not locked up, he would be fucking everybody up with ease. But he's locked up, so he can't do shit. And then, of course, I would have probably had like one of the minor characters, kill off Whis. But I was going to ask you, what else would you do different?
Show more of the training scene with Whis and Goku and Vegeta. That was probably my favorite scene in the movie, was them training on Beerus's planet. That was amazing. I'd like to see more of the training. I would like them to emphasize to people how powerful Saiyan Beyond God is, because it is emphasized in the Japanese version of Battle of Gods. But when it gets to Resurrection F, they kind of just make it look like they're just training with Whis in their base forms, but they are actually as powerful, in my opinion, as a Super Saiyan God in that form. So they need to put more emphasis on how strong Goku and Vegeta are in their base forms, because that fight with
new
Frieza,
base forms.
Yeah, they're new base forms. Because that fight with Frieza, where it was base Goku versus Frieza in Frieza's final form, a lot of people don't give Frieza enough credit there. Yes, he couldn't beat Goku, but for him, he powered up to a level that they had not seen before from a bad guy, in my opinion. Because Beerus isn't really a bad guy; he's more of an antagonist, and he has obviously has God Ki, so they could never sense Beerus's true power. He's a deity, but the thing is there with Frieza, he powered up to a level where Goku and Vegeta, who have become Super Saiyan gods and they understand how powerful they are, they were shocked at how powerful he was. Goku was a little bit cocky and goes, I don't need to go Super Saiyan, and rightfully so, because he didn't need to until Frieza turned into his golden evolution. But I would definitely put more emphasis on how powerful Frieza was in his final form. And
you wouldn't make him a whipping boy, is what you're saying.
No, yeah, because he was extremely powerful. I have no doubt in my mind, and I say this this is my opinion. I know people are going to disagree with me in the comment section, but I have no doubt in my mind, my opinion, that Frieza would beat any character from the Buu arc, even in his final form. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Maybe not Vegito though.
Maybe
I'm
not
a
Vegito.
little skeptical about that one, or Buuhan.
Yeah, maybe not that one, but he's up there. He would beat Majin Buu. He'd beat Kid Buu, in my opinion. He's up there. They were amazed by how powerful he was. But yeah, I would put more emphasis on how powerful Frieza is in his final form, and more emphasis on Saiyan Beyond God form, because that's a great addition to the series, in my opinion.
Yeah. Now, for those who don't know what we're talking about, I do want to plug your video. Jay does have a video on his channel. I want everybody to go check out, where he talks about Saiyan Beyond God, or Saiyajin Beyond God. This was not a form that was said in. Well, then again, SS God, SS wasn't said in the movie either. But it was not a form that was actually said in the movie or called a form. But it was talked about in one of the. What was it? It was. I don't remember if it was Weekly Jump or if it was one of the cards. Wasn't it one of the Dragon Ball Heroes cards also?
Yep, it was. And there's also Toriyama has the F book, which is the screenplay for Volume F, which is the screenplay for his movie, and he also gives descriptions of the forms in that book.
Yes, and in that book he talks about Saiyan Beyond God. Now, here's the thing, that go check out Jay's video. That's interesting, that backs up your theory. That I watched the video, but I don't remember if you said this. In the Dragon Ball Z Resurrection F Toyotaro manga adaptation, there is a scene. This was not in the film, where when Goku's training with Whis, there is a scene where Goku charges at Whis in his Saiyan Beyond God form, as you called it, which is what it's called in the book. And you actually see it's go check it out. He charges at Whis, and you see behind Goku like the SS God.
Yeah, the silhouette of Super Saiyan God, and people just ignore this, and it frustrates the hell
out of them. They don't know. We have to educate them. They don't know about that. Yeah, so basically, when Goku is charging at Frieza in his Saiyan Beyond God, or his quote-unquote new base form, that is at least, I can't say it's a full power God, but it is at least, he's channeling the God Ki.
Yeah, I've said that he's ballpark Super Saiyan God, and Toriyama said 6 for Super Saiyan God. I can easily see Goku still being a 6 in his Saiyan Beyond God form, or around a 6, and then Frieza being an 8.5 with Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan being an 8. They're still well below Beerus there, so there's a lot of latitude. That's how I say. I would definitely would have put more emphasis on the early forms before Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's almost like a powered up base. Which does beg the question. I wonder if they're going to give it to Gohan in Dragon Ball Super, but that may be a topic for another day. So, what other changes would you make before we get out of here? Is there anything else that comes to mind at all?
I
would have had more Jocko, but
more Jocko, but I probably would have had a proper ending. I felt and Mike from Laughingstock Media will agree with me here, because he said this to me in the past. off air is that I would have had a proper ending to the movie, because it did feel that the movie ended very abruptly. You know, they're all talking and laughing, and then that was
You
the
think
end
they
of the
should have
movie.
had like a birthday party or something?
They should have had Beerus and Whis over for dinner and had like a dinner party where they could have had Vegeta and everyone dressed up in tuxedos. It would have been like
That's
that would have been a
awesome.
funny that would have been a
Dude,
funny comedic scene.
no,
Yeah.
not only would that have been awesome, I got one for that'll blow your mind. They have this party, right? And we don't know why they have, and this is, people are, get ready to mark out right now. Get ready to mark out. They throw a party. We don't know why they threw the party. We don't know. We the party, like, just like you said, the tuxedos. At the end of the party, Bulma goes to Vegeta and goes, "I'm pregnant." Boom.
Oh!
Dun, 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 dun. And that's how the movie ends.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
And then we finally and then Vegeta freaks out, and fucking, that's how the movie ends, bro, with the conception of Bra, or Bulla, as they called her in the dub. By the way, folks, if you're calling her Bulla, that's not correct. Her name is Bra. The reason why they called her Bulla is because they didn't want to say the word bra on television, but her name is Bra. I mean, calling her Bulla is like saying Torankusu and Seru, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, man, wouldn't that have been great? Because she's supposed
Yeah.
to be pregnant anyways during this fucking time, so she
Yeah,
should have just came out with it.
Exactly, and I would have to say that everyone would love seeing Goku, Vegeta, you know, the two kids, Goten and Trunks. They could have their own little tuxedos or suits. You know, well, Goten already wears kind of like formal clothes sometimes, but it would be very interesting to see everyone all dressed up and having dinner with Beerus and Whis. And you know, this is a god of destruction, and he's having Beerus the Destroyer, and he's having dinner with these guys in tuxedos just because they can provide him with good food. And you can see Beerus having a joke. Like, one of the scenes I loved from Battle of Gods was when Beerus first shows up at the party and he's like breakdancing and having fun with everyone. They could have had more of that, because even though he's a destroyer, he obviously still likes to have fun. And if there's good food and there's good stuff there to eat, you know, Beerus and Whis are going to show up and they're going to be happy and everyone's just enjoying themselves. That would have been the perfect end to that movie, in my opinion.
Yeah, it would have been awesome. And that's kind of Dragon Ball right there. That's kind of what they do. Another idea I had too is that, you know, because the whole thing with Frieza's power, I would have also maybe, and it's just an idea that popped in my head, maybe he's worshiping another god of destruction. Remember, this is before we knew about Champa and all that shit. Maybe he gets his power from another god of destruction, and then at the end of the film, we find out that god is coming to fight, and then that could be a cliffhanger for a possible third movie. Remember, though, this game is no super. We're coming up with this as if there's only a movie.
Yeah.
You know, so you could do that too. Anyways, I want to know what you think below. Leave your story ideas. I would prefer you do it in like bullet points. And just so you guys know, I may actually do another video following up, reading your ideas and critiquing them. I don't know if I'll be able to do all of them, but because those videos take a lot of time, but I may actually do it. Just letting you know now. I don't know if I'm going to do it. No guarantees, but just be ready. If you put some stupid shit up, I'm going to read some stupid shit. So just you know, I'm just letting them know. But anyways, check out Jay's channel. Do you have any final words for all these lovely people?
Yeah, well, I'm making a 1,000 subscriber special. May or may not be up by the time this video comes out, but just, you know, to anyone who has already subscribed to me and it's got me to 1,000, thank you very much. And Danny, you know, congratulations on your success. And I love doing these Talk Dragon Ball segments. They're fantastic. Yes,
we're gonna try and do them a little more often now that the strike is gone. You know, and it's funny, guys, because I don't know if anybody's still listening, but I actually found out that even though I got that copyright strike, I don't know if you know, but if you get a strike, you can't upload videos over 15 minutes. I actually found out that you can if there's a trick to it. If you upload your videos and you put all of the tags in before it finishes processing, it'll actually let you do it. So there's a workaround to it. So I could have still done Talk Dragon Balls. It's just that I didn't even. Also, you know, we're on different schedules now, but we'll try to get at least one done a week, if not one every 2 weeks at the very least. So there you go.
Yep, that's right. That's why Talk Dragon Ball is so special, because it comes from different parts of the planet. You're from the northern hemisphere, I'm from the southern hemisphere, yet we've come together to make these awesome Dragon Ball segments. So it's good fun, and I enjoy doing it.
And you're a bit of a monster.
Well, you make me seem like one, but I'm not.
Well, all right then. Thanks everybody for listening, and we'll catch you down the road.
See you later, guys.